Well, something you might encounter while working with various pictures are some bits of dust or some kind of flaw in the photo that needs some fixing before it goes into the paper. So you can see this one has a lot of spots on it, probably from a dirty lens. So what I'm going to do is clean these up real quick. One thing that I have already set up on my Photoshop is I use the marquee tool, which is this little dotted box, highlight the area, and there's a whole lot of it, so I'm just going to highlight these two. When I hit delete, this comes up as fill. And you can either use content aware, you can use background color, foreground color, but we want to stick with content aware.
I like the way your eyes lit up.
So what happens is it kind of fills in that area with the background. It's kind of magical the way it happens so fast. Sometimes it doesn't work quite as well as you think. So let's say we do this area, I don't know, right here. Well, I didn't do it, but if you're like, say, going over a part of a mountain or something, it may not work as well. It works best on a kind of a blank background, like the sky. Another thing you can do if you have a very detailed part that you need to clean up and content aware is not working is come over here to the stamp tool. It's also, if you just type S, hit S on your keyboard, stamp tool will come up. Up here you can see you can adjust your brush size. So if you go really big, you've got like a huge brush. Go small, it's super tiny, but we kind of want something in between. So if I come down here to this spot and I hit Alt, hold down the Alt key and just click to the side, kind of copies the area that I clicked at, and then I can brush over that spot. And the same over here, I'll just click to the side, brush it over the spot. And then there's kind of this weird shadow thing right here. I'm not really sure if that's part of the picture or what the heck is going on, but another little trick just to kind of clean it up, brighten it up a little bit so it's even is I come up to my marquee tool, and up here in feather, I'm going to make it super feathery, like 50 pixels. And then that way everything blends really well. So as I sort of select with my marquee tool around this area, actually let me go in a little closer, you can see it kind of rounds the edges. So what I'm going to do is use my levels and just kind of brighten it a little bit. So as you can see, it's brightening that weird little shadow area just to kind of fine tune it, and it blended pretty well. Thanks to the feather tool. If you don't use the feather tool, see, let me show you real quick. If you take your feather back down to 0, and then you just highlight, and then you try your levels, you'll see what'll happen. So it makes everything super boxy, and you definitely don't want that. Blending is key. And then if you look over here in your history, you can always do a Control Z, but that only took me to selecting and deselecting my marquee tool. But if you go back to your history, you can go back as far as you want since the moment you opened your file. So see, we go back a little ways. We'll get rid of the levels that we did, get rid of the marquee selection, and then if you go all the way back to your first image here, look at that. That's what we started with. And then jump forward back to where we were. Go back. So see, your history tool is something you'll use quite often, because sometimes maybe you'll do a series of things that were just kind of weird and didn't quite work out, and you want to go back to where you were at a certain point. So Yes, use your history. That'll save you sometimes. Alrighty. So we have a nice clean image. Looks good. I think it's ready for the paper. Save and done.